Well, good afternoon and welcome to Dowling Forest, Ballarat for Ballarat Cup Day for 1986, the first day of the Ballarat Cup Carnival's two-day carnival. And at this point of time, I'd like to welcome viewers through BTV6, ATV10 throughout the metropolitan area, TV8, GMV6 and also SES8 in Mount Gambier. Well, we've got some great racing here for the rest of the afternoon. Our next hour of coverage, of course, is going to incorporate the Ballarat Cup for 1986 and, of course, carrying prize money of $50,000 this year. The next event on the program, as you can see, the large crowd here at Dowling Forest this afternoon is the Shadow Commodore Hotel's Progressive Handicap. It's over the journey of 1,200 metres and there are a few scratchings. Let's take a look at them. You can take out 4 Princely Heart, 9 Sports Power, 12 Fashion Prince, 13 Le Diplomat and 14 Lord Pake. And to call all the action this afternoon, as jockeys and horses are in the barrier, it's a very good afternoon and welcome to Bruce McAvaney.
Thanks very much, Rob. As we see the horses behind the line, some of the runners there being fonted on screen. There's Even True and Lightning Jack in the background. Very strong wind blowing here at Ballarat. It's helped to dry out the track. We've had some very fast times, 57.9 in the second race today for 1,000. And one of the reasons is that they've got a tailwind behind them of this long run down the side. Lightning Jack about to come up. The approximate totes on the Cup, $1.45 on race 6. Well, actually, it must be race 5. $1.45 for Bailiwick, its favourite. $8.55 for Recap. $5.50 for number 5, Survey. Even True, number 6. You saw its odds now. Lightning Jack goes in. I think they're just about set here. Recap, the rails runner. Look to be right. Sparkling Prince drawn out wide. Even True inside of it. Have a long run here at Ballarat. Racing, Bailiwick missed it about a length, I reckon, and missing it hopelessly. Oban missed it about 10 lengths. Recap was away pretty well, and Even True showing speed out wide with Aura Moore and Lightning Jack and Survey and Isa Jack going quickly. It's in the leading division as they settle down with Recap kicking up on its inside. Kingsford Smith just behind them. Bailiwick recovering after a slow start to be midfield. Aljana behind it. Well out of it is Hold It Bay and Coulter's one of the last, and after a very slow start, Oban went through to about third last. On the fence going quickly here at Survey and Isa Jack moving up and Even True and Aura Moore. Lightning Jack just behind those horses with Recap and Bailiwick tucked in behind them. About a length and a half then to Kingsford Smith as they come to the turn. Coulter behind those, and well back through the field is Sparkling Prince. On the turn, Even True just led. Isa Jack drew level. Aura Moore the outside. Lightning Jack hooked out about 5 deep. Bailiwick looking for a run through from Kingsford Smith. Isa Jack at the 300 got away from Bailiwick. Aura Moore and Even True. Further out on the track then to Hold It Bay, but Isa Jack's got a good lead. Bailiwick under the whip from Even True. Morn riding hard on Isa Jack, and Lenny's going to ride a double. Isa Jack by 2.5 to Bailiwick. Third Even True. Then Kingsford Smith, Aura Moore. Behind them Recap, Lightning Jack, Hold It Bay. Next home Survey with Coulter. Sparkling Prince, one of the last to finish Oban, and back with them Aljana. Official placings after the 5th event on the program. Looked a good chance, Isa Jack. He really did on the form in town. He was 8th at Flemington and the Black Douglas behind Cavalry. But the top 3 in that were Cavalry, Special and a Goose Lane. All horses that could run in the Newmarket Handicap and run well. And you can see Morn about... Got away from Bailiwick, Aura Moore and Even True. Further out on the track then to Hold It Bay, but Isa Jack... And you can see Isa Jack's got it one here. He's about a length and a half to 2 lengths in front of Even True and Bailiwick. Kingsford Smith's in behind them trying to run into a place. Lenny keeps this horse going with the whip. And Isa Jack, as I said, was 8th in the Black Douglas. Prior to that was unplaced in the Red Anchor behind Ruberton, and then ran 4th at Caulfield before that. He's a very smart horse. And we see the head on here, and we see that Isa Jack's come away to win from Bailiwick. Number 1 will be second. Nice run because he's missed the start about 3/4 of a length. And the consistent Even True will be third. It'll be 8, 1 and 6 officially. 4th Kingsford Smith, number 18. And 5th will be number 10, Aura Moore. 8, 1, 6 official after race number 5. Len Morn rode a winner earlier today, so he's having a particularly good afternoon. Local jockey, great rider, one of the very best in Australia, Len Morn. He's had a few problems with his weight. He rides AVANNOTTO in the Cup, and Lenny has a very good chance of adding to that winning list throughout the afternoon. Impressed with that horse, Isa Jack. He's by Caraman, who was in the same year as Manikato, from a mare called Stamford. Is raced by I. Jankovic and Ron Morn in partnership. Trained by Ron Morn at Ballarat and ridden by Len. And a second Bailiwick, Pat Hyland, and a third Even True ridden by Gerald Ryan. So they're official. Time should come to hand shortly. I'd guess around about 1:10.5 because they ran so quickly in those earlier races. Beaten division there, not a lot to be said for them. I thought Kingsford Smith was a fair run. I think he's improving in the Tommy Hughes stable. He's raced by a group of committeemen from the Victoria Racing Club, and I think he's slowly improving. But Jack, I had a good look at him in the yard today. He's only a small horse. He won a couple of nice races as a 2-year-old. He had won $24,000 before today, and he must be one of the smartest horses in this area. He's got a lot of speed, began all right, and had them well and truly off the bit on the turn, and Maund was able to kick away and win by a couple of lengths. In the Cup today, Glenn Morriston, number 1, 5 Game Trooper, 14 Brown Bomber, and 16 Iola are scratched. So it's 1, 5, 14 and 16, leaving a field of 14 to run. Those people that have just joined us, so very quickly, the winners today in the first, Archimedes Noble, number 1, successful with Lance Gould. In the second today, it was Carenet, the favourite Len Morn for Rick Hall-Lacey, was a comfortable winner. The first of the hurdle races went to Batteau Bay, ridden by Neil Perryman. A good close-up there of Lenny. He's just got a whack across the nose. I noticed that earlier today. Neil Perryman rode Batteau Bay to success in the hurdle. Neil, of course, was a top young apprentice, and he lost his claim, and he's still only 19 years of age, and he rode in that race, actually, so he's ridden on the flat and over the hurdles today. Royal Sea won the 4th in a thrilling finish from Mount Olympia, and the 5th has gone to Isa Jack. So all in all, it's been a great day for favourite punters. Carenet was a favourite, Royal Sea a favourite, and Isa Jack's close enough to favourite it, and Bailiwick not much between them. There's Ron Maund, Len's father, having a chat to Len. I guess that's Mr. Yankovic, one of the part owners of Isa Jack. As I said, Karaman, the sire of this horse, ran into Manicato on a number of occasions as a 3-year-old. It's in that famous Caulfield Guineas when Gary Willits was suspended when Manicato and Karaman locked horns on the home turn. Isa Jack, he's not all that big, but he's got a lot of pace. Cup, the next one, the big one of the day, the Winfield Ballarat Cup. A handicap of $45,000 plus $5,000 in trophies. There's Gerald Ryan in the background. Darren Murphy, who rode Aura Moore. He's been a bit disappointing, Aura Moore. He won at Bendigo first in April and looked very good, and then was second at Flemington. I saw him that day behind Mr. Ashwood, but he hasn't quite gone on with it. The other horse in the Spurden stable today, Oban, missed the start hopelessly and was always out of the picture. Had a couple of showers here today. Wind is so strong that the weather's coming in quickly. Pat Harland. He's on Mallee bronze in the Cup. There's Gerald Ryan. Everything looks to be okay. We did have a protest in an earlier race, but it was dismissed. That was the second. Carenet, right of Groundsman, protested. There's Craig Dinn. Okay, Rob, it looks like everything's going to be okay after race number 5. The Cup's coming up shortly. And how's it going down there at the moment? You backing a winner?
Well, it's very cold, Bruce, must I say to you. I hope it's a little bit warmer up there in the broadcasting box this afternoon. Well, at this point of time, could I also introduce to you the sporting director of Channel 10, A to V10, Mr. Phil Gibbs. And Phil, I do say good afternoon with chattering teeth.
Well, good afternoon, Rob. Well, I don't know. I was just saying to you earlier, we were up here 3 years ago and it hailed. Now, it's not going to hail today, but that's correct weight too, incidentally. Correct weight on the 5th event. But I don't think it'll hail today. And I was looking at that track, although it's officially listed as being dead, they've been running some very, very good times. In the 1,000 metres, they ran 57.9. Now, that's not bad time in anyone's name.
Well, it's a good time, Phil. We'll come back and have a chat about the track very, very shortly, and we'll catch up with Des Spain a little bit later on in the afternoon. He's been out having a look at the track and maybe have some bits and pieces to tell us. We'll be back after this break. That have been run and won, and the first event on the program was the Maiden Handicap. First division, it was over the fly of 1,000 metres. Let's listen to Bruce McAvaney's call.
The early stages to lead about a length and a half from Wave Lad. Moving up on the outside, Dorbino and Bettino's in that group of horses with Gainsmont, another Wave, Rodney just in behind them. Red Barn well back with Dainty Dixie, who's about 5 lengths off the lead, and Bellstone Fox outside of it from Jimba. Well back coming to the turn, Lassiter's Moss with Narthayan and Gaelic Sands in the straight at about the 350. Archimedes Noble got another way about 2 to Bettino. Running on Bellstone Fox out wide, another wave behind them, and wide lad at the 200. Archimedes Noble about a length and a half to Bettino, a length and a half, another wave, and Bellstone Fox. Archimedes Noble in front, and first up from the Jeff Murphy stable, Archimedes Noble green but wins well. 2 lengths Bettino, a length and a half Bellstone Fox, wide lad, another wave, Red Barn Rodney. Majimba behind them from Gainsmont, Battle on Narthay and Dainty Dixie. Gaelic Sands never got into it. Second last Daubenau, and last home Lassiter's Moss.
Let's have a look at the totes. The top weight, number 1, Archimedes Noble, $7.95 and $2.20. Second, number 11, Bettino, returned $1.25. And third, number 10, Bellstone Fox, returned $1.05. Will improve that top weight, and better races in store for him. Race 2, the Maiden Handicap, second division, again over the fly of 1,000 metres.
Wants to with County Gossip outside of it. Groundsman driving through with Ursula High. Behind those on a bound, about a length further back then to Ellador. A length further back on the field, Spin the Top around the outside there of Just Biddy and Remission Prince with well back Henley Grove cutting it fine. My Catriona's second last, and last of all really Fosty on the turn at the 450. Caronay looks to be going well. Groundsman on its outside, and 3 deep County Gossip. 2 lengths away then to Honor Bound, and out wide Spin the Top, and further back on the field Ursula High, Remission Prince. Caronay about a half to Groundsman at the 200 is lugging out Caronay. County Gossip's going down to the inside. Caronay about a length and a half now to Groundsman, who's running in behind it. Scott won the favourite. Then County Gossip and running on My Catriona, but Caronay a bit green, goes on to win 2 lengths to Groundsman. Third would be County Gossip just in front of Spin the Top, and then My Catriona. Remission Prince, Honor Bound, Henley Grove, Just Biddy, really Frosty, Ellador. Second last cutting it fine, and Ursula High after showing a bit of toe finished last.
So dividends on race 2 from Ballarat, and started favourite with bookmakers. Number 11, the winner, 120 and 60. Second, number 3, Groundsman, returned 70 cents, and third, number 12, County Gossip, returned at $2.95. To race 3, the first of 2 divisions of the hurdle this afternoon, the Myer Hurdle, 2,800 metres.
Now from Simi Rock and Baglaga Boy. Well, Perryman having his first ride over the jumps. Jumps the last on Batter Bay. Simi Rock's under the whip, about 2 to Mr. Scrooge. Chosen Gift fell at that one, and Tomin Purple's going to run off at the last, but Batter Bay's over it. Neil Perryman's going to ride a winner at his first ride over the jumps, about 5 to Simi Rock. Behind them, Blair Rise and Norwood High, and Perryman has a dream start to maybe a new career. Wins 10 lengths. In second place, it would have been Simi Rock. Third, Norwood High from Blair Rise, Baglaga Boy. Behind those horses, Mr. Scrooge, Grey Steiger, Estrell never jumped well with Matcham Rocky. Now, Tomin Purple's obviously broken down. He's pulled up. Chosen Gift fell at the second last. And the ambulance is between me and the rider, but I think he might be okay. Let's hope he...
And they were okay. The top weight, Batu Bay, 245 and 85 the place. Second, number 7, Simi Rock, returning 125. And third, number 12, Norwood High, returning $2.15. Second division of the Myer Hurdle, again over 2,800 metres.
Hang a bit. They come towards the second last. Royal Sea drives through in the centre to join Mount Olympia at the second last. They both hit it. Flight Prince very tired behind them from Peg's Choice, coming to the last. Mount Olympia and Royal Sea about to approach it together. Mount Olympia jumped at a length to Royal Sea under the whip. Royal Sea's quickly moved up and joined him again. Takes the lead to favourite. Mount Olympia's kicking back. Royal Sea and Mount Olympia. It's head and head. A great go in the hurdle. Royal Sea, Mount Olympia, they hit it. I reckon Mount Olympia bobbed and won a half head Royal Sea, but it's very close. 8 lengths to Flight Prince, then 4 away Peg's Choice, Fumical, Quenda Lad, Square Dancer. Further back on the field would have been Shomar, behind them El Santo and Tell the World.
And the dividends, again the top weight, successful Royal Sea, $1 even and 65 short. Number 3 Olympia, or Mount Olympia I should say, was second 95 cents, and third number 7 Flight Prince had returned $1.10 on race 4. To the 5th race, the Shadow Commodore Hotels Progressive Handicap. There were a few scratchings. Take out 4, 9, 12, 13 and 14.
They're out on the track then to hold it, Bay, but Isajack's got a good lead. Bailiwick under the whip from Even True. Morn riding hard on Isajack, and then he's going to ride a double. Isajack by 2.5 to Bailiwick. Third, Even True. Then Kingsford Smith Oramore. Behind them, Recap, Lightning Jack, Hold It Bay. Next home survey with Calder. Sparkling Prince, one of the last to finish Oban, and back with the Maljana.
And Isajack, former top 2-year-old, trained by Ron Moore last year. He had 2 good horses in She Flies and Isajack, and Isajack returned to form this afternoon. 2.15 and 75. The top weight Bailiwick returned 75 cents, and the third tote dividend has disappeared from us there, but we'll be back shortly with more action from Dowling Forest and Cup Day for 1986 shortly.
will pay.
First on Cup Day, well, the weather is a little cool, but we're going to be in for a great store of racing. Of course, the Cup this year attracting some good class horses and $50,000 in stakes money. And a gentleman that would certainly know about the form of a lot of the runners from the metropolitan area anyhow is Des Spain. Flemington trackman Des, good afternoon and welcome to Ballarat for Cup Day once again.
Good afternoon to you, Rob, and all the viewers out there. It's so far it's a terrific day's racing. I've enjoyed a couple of maiden races early on. The hurdles were a great spectacle, and it was good to see Neil Perryman come up with his first ride in a hurdle race, still claiming, well, on the flat he claims, and he claimed 2.5 in the hurdle, but all in all it's measuring up to a good day's racing.
Well, there you can see current details from the Bureau of Meteorology. The barometric reading 1,015 hectopascals, I think they call it nowadays.
That's a nice sort of a toffee.
Got a nice ring to it, isn't it? The pressure is steady, it's very steady. The wind direction is southeast.
I can assure you that.
It's blowing down the straight. The speed 25 kilometres an hour, and the current temperature is a very, what can we say, cool, 10 degrees?
Yes, I think the speed's got the handbrake on there at 25.
Right, well, if you and Phil might like to have a look at the tote updates for perhaps the Ballarat Cup.
Yes, let's have a look at them. We've got number 1 out, but number 2, that's I'm a Red Man, who did pretty well at Kyneton in the Cup there. Will pay $2.55 for the win. Not a bad dividend either, Des.
Pretty good dividend, I'd say, and in the ring I had a bit of a look, and that's about comparative to what's available with the bookies.
Now, if you go through them, look at number 11. Number 11 would be next in line, and that is Mint Master.
Yes.
And with a good chance too.
Mint Master's been racing in all the cups. Ran in the Melbourne Cup, ran in the Sandown Cup, racing, you know, pretty consistently without winning, and he's also well in the market with the bookies, Phil.
And 13 Beagle Bay well in the market too.
That's right. There's about 3 equal favourites down in the ring, and Beagle Bay was the most unlucky runner at Flemington last outing.
Yeah, it's a fairly open cup, and we'll give you a complete rundown on that. And Colin Morby in hospital, he had Kingsford Smith in the last race, Rob. So did the chairman of the VRC and other committee men. And he told me to tell you, Colin, even although you might be a little bit dopey, feeling a bit dopey, he said at the moment, that you get 240 for 4th place. That does help out.
Divided by 6.
You know, when you walk into the Ballarat Cup meeting, particularly through the members area, there's a tremendous amount of activity out there. We see a lot at Flemington over the Cup Carnival, but up here, you get a lot of activity with the marquees, the tents and people having their picnics at the boot, even on a day like this. So let's take you down to that area and show you some of that activity.
Well, curator of the Ballarat Turf Club out here at Dowling Forest and looking at picture, Len Grace, this is your 25th Cup. I dare say you've noticed a lot of changes.
I certainly have, and well, it's been rebuilt the whole place, really, tracks and everything. And I said, some of the old staff here, well, they could tell you more than I could, or as much as I could, in this respect of the changes.
Well, of course, the spring that's upon us at the moment, there's been a little bit of sunshine up through the western areas of Victoria. No doubt it's going to bring the grass on. Looks great, looks green, but it's also a headache.
Yes, we've had one of our wettest October for over 12 years, and we've been cutting nearly 200 acres a week for the last 3 weeks to a month. Some of that's been getting cut twice, sort of thing.
Well, the official report from the groundsman, or the chief of groundsman here at Dowling Forest, what's the track condition going to be like this afternoon?
Oh, well, it's a good track, but as I said, this wind's drying it out, and as I said, we did have it dead, but I think it'll turn out, you know, no more rain. I hope it turns out good.
Don from O'Brien's, what sort of crowd are you anticipating today?
Today I would be hoping for a similar crowd what has attended the last 2 or 3 years. The weather, of course, is going to knock it down a bit, but hopefully it's fining up. It's going to be a good day, I think.
What we're fascinated with is how you cater for a day. I mean, do you purchase so many buns and rolls, and what really happens?
Well, over the years we've learned the catering doesn't alter a great deal. The crowds are similar. We started setting up 2 or 3 days ago. All in told, we've probably brought up about 45 tonne of equipment, beer. Lucky to get that with the brewery at the moment. And local products from like Pope's Cakes. I think we try and support as many of the local businesses as we can. But you know, just through experience over the last couple of years, that's all we can go by, and hope we get the crowd.
Well, Senior Sergeant Bob Barbie in charge of police operations out here on Ballarat Cup Day. A rather large contingent of the boys in blue. Senior Sergeant, not hoping for trouble, I dare say, but of course the law must be around on days as such.
Well, that's for sure. There has been trouble on previous years, and I think the weather today will sort of quieten things down a little bit, I'd say.
I suppose your job, even coming into the course here today, we see policemen standing on point duty in weather such as this. These are the days that perhaps a policeman's job isn't a nice one.
Perhaps so, but we've got to be there, and that's it, so I think they'll enjoy it.
Bob, what are your duties mainly around the course on a day like such?
Well, it's general policing of the race course in general, bars, youth problems and all sorts of things out here, thefts around the car parks and traffic duty to ensure the public can come here safely and leave safely. That's mainly our job today.
But what sort of preparations go into today as far as your organisation is concerned?
Quite a lot of preparation goes into coming out here on the ambulance. We have a more or less nearly a paramedic team, you know, it's out here at the present moment. I'm not a member of it, but we bring life pack with us, sucking equipment, everything now, you know, it's on the wagons, like, you know, just like once we used to have to take a patient more or less to a casualty, but now we're taking a casualty to the patient out there. So we look after all the meetings here. We also have in the public first aid room here, which is run by St John's. They do motor, but if an emergency comes up, we are brought from the centre of the track and we come out and take over from there.
How many members are out here?
We have four. We have 2 teams on 2 wagons running there, and they are fully qualified men, like on the what's it on.
The cooler weather, does it worry you at all?
And no, it doesn't worry us in any way. It's, I think one hot day is just the same as a cool day to us. It's the same sort of thing on it, so there's nothing on it like, you know, on weather-wise.
Why dressed up in the bow tie and the tuxedos?
Oh, well, we thought, why not, you know?
Yeah, it was something different. Yeah, you know, just wanted to enjoy the day.
Did you? Yeah. Who do you think is going to win the race?
Oh, gee.
The best horse.
The best horse.
We all worked together and we just thought, all the ladies come all dressed up lovely, so we thought, well, we can't decide if we're lady or man, so...
We're going to win lots of money on the cup. I'm a red man's going to win. And have a few drinks, have a good time.
Normally you have a picnic outside. Why inside at the moment?
Because it's raining outside.
You obviously spend a lot of time getting dressed for the day. Do you do that every year?
Most years, yeah.
Yeah. How many times have you been to the Ballarat Cup?
About 4 times.
Yeah. And who do you think's going to win?
I don't know any of the horses.
Well, we're back with you, and of course, Des Spain busily chatting to all the attractive young ladies behind us here. He's got his form on the horses and also on the track. Tote updates, let's have a look at them in the Cup. Number 2, I'm a Red Man, at 2:55 and 90. Working our way down through there, we get to number 4 in our book, which is Gold Deck, and must rate a big chance. Hard luck story about Gold Deck and the Bendigo Cup. We'll talk about that later. 3.95 and 1.65. Further down to number 11 in our book, Mint Master, of course, trained by George Hanlon, 2.30 and 85 cents. And I suppose the other one with a chance on the tote at the moment is number 13, if you're not superstitious, in Beagle Bay, and of course trained by the Cup's King Bart Cummings, and that is showing 2.05 and $1 even. Well, the Cup field, I suppose the Ballarat Turf Club can think themselves very, very lucky, Des, to have a field as such today. We've had a few scratchings. Glenn Morrison, of course, the top weight out after his win at Sandown on Saturday. But harking back to perhaps Bendigo, they only managed to have 11 runners over there. I suppose when you look back at it, they're fortunate enough to have a field as good today.
Yes, I reckon the field is pretty even though the betting doesn't indicate that. But there's 3 equal favourites at the moment, and I think that augurs well for an exciting race. And there's horses out in the market that are not hopeless either, Rob.
All right, let's have a look at a replay of last year's Cup, the 1985 Cup, and it was Lenny Maund and Playful Princess.
And Equistara's Bread and Wine struggling further back. Laurel and True, Italian Verdict, and Naliska trying to improve. Up to the turn, 500 to go. Wanderer's Dream about a nick in front of Game Trooper. Oh, Johnny's had a good run. Gold Deck taking off 4 wide. Playful Princess just behind them with Atlantic Crisis. Further back, Equistar around the outside. Hawaiian Blue, Naliska hooked to the outside. Pick 'em, I guess, in the straight at the 300. Oh, Johnny and Gold Deck have joined Game Trooper. Playful Princess comes at them 4 wide. Naliska running on from Atlantic Crisis. Oh, Johnny, Gold Deck, Playful Princess challenging outright. Gold Deck just in front. Playful Princess trying to draw level. Game Trooper kicking back. It's a great go, but Playful Princess wins a half head. In second place in Gold Deck, third Game Trooper, then Oh Johnny, Naliska, Atlantic Crisis, Bread and Wine, further back on the field.
Well, Playful Princess, of course, winning last year's Cup over the 2200-metre journey. And Desmond, I'll probably put you on the spot. Did she go on further and win the Australian or Australasian Cup?
The Australian.
Australian.
Yeah,
right.
So good horse, that.
Some good horses can win here at Ballarat, and the form was proven good. And having a look through perhaps the rest of the fields for today, I know you have a little smoky for someone at home.
Have I?
In race 8, was it you were telling me in race 8?
Race 8, I was hoping that Monotony had run well.
Was that the story?
That's what I was saying.
So if you're sitting by the phone somewhere with a TAB account and you're looking for a little bit of money to throw away a little bit later in the day, Des Spain, our Flemington trackman, suggests that you have a little bit each way on number 11, Monotony. We'll be back shortly, and just to inform you that the track rating has been changed from dead to good. We'll be back shortly with more Ballarat Cup preview.
Today.
In what category would you like to win Man of the Year?
Sexy legs competition.
I'm amazed she hasn't got acne from ear to ear and a big pot belly because all she ate was sweets all weekend.
5:30 today on 10. Telethon.
Horses in the mounting yard for the feature event on the card this afternoon, the 2200-metre Ballarat Cup. And gentlemen, we might have a quick look through the form. And the top weight, number 1, Glen Morriston, as we said before, is scratched. And to one that I think you have a bit of a fancy for, Phil, number 2, I'm a Red Man, trained by George Hanlon.
Well, only after the Kyneton Cup run, 2,500 metres, was a bit far, went fourth to Colour Page in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Flemington recently. As I said, it won the Kyneton Cup well. It likes a wet track, and this track has been amended to good, but has a good chance.
Number 3, AVANNOTTO, trained on the track by Noel Kelly, and AVANNOTTO a couple of starts ago was a good winner at Flemington over 1,400 metres. Some question whether he'll get the 2,200 metres, Des?
Yes, I'm a bit concerned about that, but there's a good plus for him today. I was speaking to Noel Kelly one day at Flemington when the track was rated slow. Noel said, look, this would be a good thing if it was a good track, and it won just the same. Now, here it is today. The track's been amended to good, ran a great race, not that far away, you know, even though it doesn't read much in the Epsom at Randwick. It was only beaten 7 lengths and then won the Great Western at Flemington over 1,400. A little bit suspect of the journey, but Lenny Moore knows the track well and will be well prepared by Noel Kelly.
Number 4, Gold Deck, of course, last year's Bendigo Cup winner, and perhaps a little unlucky there this year.
Yeah, it was. It appeared a winner in the Bendigo Cup when beaten by Impertinent Charge and Silai, and what a great finish it was up there. One of the longest hearings on a protest we've had for a long time. But it was runner-up in this cup last year here at Ballarat, and I think it's one of the big chances today. Gold Deck.
Mallee Bronze to be ridden by Pat Hyland and trained by Lenny Marshall at Cranbourne.
Well, Rob, maybe Mallee Bronze will say, I'm back home again. He was here for a while.
He was too, trained by Robert Smoot.
Yes, maybe he'll appreciate the return to the country scene and the nice fresh air. Lenny Marshall's done a pretty